cheer here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. Right now we're going to have...
the backside of the park where the stage is set up. We need everybody to start moving back to the park. There's going to be speakers in a rally at Lafayette Park right behind us. We need people to start moving over there. Can you guys start?
Let's go. Back down past the light pole. Let's go. Back down past the light pole. Let's go.
Back behind the next light pole.
Come on. Turn around. See the light pole? Light pole. That light pole back there.
Just doing my job.
So am I. It's much easier for you to turn around so you don't trip or something.
I won't trip.
Okay.
Unless someone trips me.
Well, no problem. No one's going to trip. You going back behind the light pole.
What did it do?
Breaking the law.
That's the dangerous.
Get off on that side. Okay. That's the side. I know.
It's not the picture of the day for us.
Don't fall it up! Don't fall it up! Don't fall it up! Don't fall it up!
Sir, I'm going to start with you, okay? If you don't have press credentials, get off the press line and go across the street with the rest of the demo. Whether you have press credentials or not, with that sign, you are demonstrating. You are part of the demonstration. Thank you.
Right, one more cheer here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war.
No blood for oil! 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 No blood for oil!
This is Omar reporting for Mideast Realities. We're going to be going now to some of the speeches that were made right here in front of the White House.
6 years ago, they killed 200,000 Iraqi people. 200,000. After the first 36 hours, Iraq had no air defenses. And then the U.S. and Britain flew 110,000 more bombing missions every 3 minutes for 42 straight days. Were they designed to bomb Iraqi troops in Kuwait? No, they bombed the sanitation system and the water system and the electrical grids and the schools and the supermarkets and the hospitals. And they did it day in and day out. And when that war was over, the United States imposed sanctions on the country of Iraq, so that in spite of its efforts to rebuild the water system and the electric grid and the sanitation system, by By 1993, those systems were destroyed again. And since that time, 1.5 million people, mostly children under the age of 5, mostly the elderly, mostly those who are in the need of medicine because their immune systems have been crushed or degraded because 25% of the country is now malnourished. And 1.5 million human beings are dead today because of sanctions. That's a reality, a quiet, peaceful reality. Let's not, when we protest, only get angry that they might drop bombs. They're killing the Iraqi people every day, and that's warfare against the civilian population.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Could I just talk to them? I'll give you my card, I'll give you my bag. I just want to try and convince them to move aside. We're talking about being treated. Okay, guys. You guys, could you just be calm? You guys, it's not time for civil disobedience. If we all do it, it will get you basically burn it. Relax, okay? Relax. This is a coalition, and we beg you to just step aside and let people continue the program. Why? You guys relax, okay? This is a coalition of 2,500 people, and this is what's going to get on the media. 5 people who refuse to follow the plan.
Perfect images of people protesting or we're sick, we spoof that crap every day on media. We don't fucking care anymore.
So there's going to be a bombing, and you're gonna be the main victor, okay? The 25 people here that care as much as you do. People are angry, and there's another way. To show.
We're not going to dictate.
I'm not dictating. I'm talking what you're not willing to do. I'm talking to them.
Everybody back up on the street. Off the sidewalk. The sidewalk is closed. Anyone staying on the sidewalk?
Do they talk? Are you talking to them? Okay. Is there?
Move back onto the street.
What do you mean? They know everything.
They know where they're going and why and how to get out.
People getting arrested.
Let's give them some support.
You are part of the emerging constituency of conscience in the United States. You are the articulators of what has taken place in Ohio State University last week. You are the upholders of American principles and values against American policies of war.
Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids are killed today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids are killed today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids are killed today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids are killed today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? Yeah. Let's do the dinner now. Kids are killed today. Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids are killed today? How many kids did you kill today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today?
Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey, Bill, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Do it, everybody now. Burn the flag. Everybody's invited. You're all invited.
Hey, Bill, what do you say?
Bonfire. That's right. Keep us warm.
Keep it burning. Keep burning. Everyone's invited. Bring your lighters.
Give us another flag if you have one.
We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want your racist war. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Watch out! Watch out! Fucking kids! Oh, fuck this. It didn't work, but it was Joe's idea.
Tell us that.
These fucking kids are afraid of us. Chemical warfare!
That's good. Chemical warfare.
Chemical warfare! Anarchy now! Chemical warfare! Hey, pigs, what do you say? How many blacks you killed today? Hey, pigs, what do you say? How many blacks you killed today? Hey, pigs, what do you say? How many blacks did you kill today? Hey, pigs, what do you say? How many blacks did you kill today? Hey, pigs, what do you say? How many boys did you kill today? No more war! No more war! Attack the right! Attack the right!
What's happened here? Anyway.
We were burning the flag and the cops came in with fire extinguishers and didn't even ask us to move, and she has asthma. They didn't even care, man.
Yeah, we want to try to do more business.
What happened?
We were told back in 1990 and 91 that Desert Storm was necessary to liberate Kuwait. There might have been indeed some validity to that argument. But we were told back in 1991 that the goal was to kick Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait. There was at that time a clearly defined goal. We were told that there would be a new world order because of the war. People in the service are glad to help out. But this is different. This is different because this time the U.S. is the aggressor. This is different because this time it's the U.S. This is different because this time it is the U.S. that has been killing women and children through sanctions. This is different because this time no one can feel proud and walk tall as American when we know beforehand about, quote, collateral damage. Ladies and gentlemen, we all want to be able to walk proud as Americans in the global community. But in killing women, children, and civilians, there is no pride. Because in killing women, children, and civilians, there is no honor. This is a lesson we should remember from Cambodia, from Vietnam, from Nicaragua, and from the Persian Gulf War. Under President Reagan, Saddam Hussein was not our enemy. Indeed, he was something of an ally. But he is no longer in Kuwait, and he is not the only commander-in-chief who refuses to give up his nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons. So before one more American is sent out to die or to kill, we should remember what the U.S. military teaches to its own ground troops. You do not make war against civilians. No more wars! 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 No more wars!
Please move back to the park! Please. Okay, thank you. Move back to the park! Please move back to the park! This is the United Nonviolent Social Protest! Please, everybody, interested in nonviolent social change, please move back to the park! Please move back to the park. Let's not divide our efforts today to the pleasure of the media. Please move back to the park. Move back to the park, please. Back to the park. Back to the park.
I think the police are allowing people to be on this side of the yellow line.
Well, that's fine. You know that. Well, you can interview me about this later. But this was planned by them, separate from us, to disrupt. And we need everybody
But
to
it's
go
not
back.
a disruption because the police aren't asking the people to
Of course
leave.
not, because this is going to be for them. Move to the park. And I need everybody to do it. And I don't know
It doesn't make sense. You're dividing the
We're not.
people from the...
they are trying to divide that. And when we talk about this later, I'll explain. Please move back to the park.
It's an old practice. It's been used many times.
It's very old to be very
No,
divisive.
those are anarchists.
Please move back to the park.
But
anarchists is not a part of an organization.
And they did not try to work in this coalition, Jeff. They tried to disrupt, and who knows where they're
But
from.
they didn't.
Fine, they did that on their own.
If they want to do that, then do that. But if my question is, if you want to be a part of the march,
Police are not asking these
Please
people
call
here
Mark.
to move.
I've been here the whole time before you came over to Mexico asking people to move over.
Okay, please.
The reason for this is that for some foolish reason, the American people are planning to kill children in Iraq. And people came out here because they're upset about that. And if some people are upset enough to actually stand there, even when the police are there, they should be supported by those who agree with this. And I really have a problem with this. I've worked with the Peace Center here in Washington, and they should not be taking over the police function. It's up to those pigs over there to come out and say, get off the street, not her.
Right on.
Okay?
If they want their own agenda, they want their own demonstrations, then they should organize it. They should let people know. They should come out and they should say what they're planning on doing. If they're going to have civil disobedience, then let people know. But instead, what they do instead is just basically show up, disrupt, and then basically suggest that, the peace movement is split because, basically we called other people over to what we had drawn them here for in the first place. So
the other thing is that people come down here to this demonstration knowing about the coalition or the Peace Center or something like that, and they don't see who's who. And so they're confused by the whole thing, and they end up in one group when they meant to be in another group.
And you find them over there with banners that don't identify any organization or anything else. And so that's what leads to the confusion. If they wanted to do something in an organized manner, they should clearly identify themselves as to who they are and what exactly they're trying to do.
The whole world is watching! 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 The whole world is watching!
Cops and the flag go hand in hand!
Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand!
Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Hand in hand! Cops and the flag go hand in hand! Make any message we want!
Peace now!
No!
Peace now! Don't bomb Iraq! 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 Peace now!
We've got all these liberals who are afraid to fight, who are dragging people away from our demonstration. What we have to do is fight them when we have a numeric advantage, which means we have to find them one-on-one and go after them. Yes, we have to fight the police.
Police are not bad in essence. It's the government and the war that's bad in essence.
Pacifism is a weak, cowardly movement. I think we're here against the war against Iraq because it's imperialist. Because it's a wrong...
If you want to fight the police because you're against
imperialist war. We are against imperialist war. We're against wrongful war. We are against war that is... What good war is there?
There is there.
Good war.
There is.
Love is the answer.
Love is the answer.
Love is the answer.
One of the many, and we've had plenty. I don't want more of the same. No more genocide. No more genocide. No, no, no. No more genocide. No, no, no. No more genocide in our name.
So do you feel as though you're in solidarity here with the rest of the people who came down to demonstrate?
I think so, but I also think in a sense it's all a means to an end. We're not here sitting over there singing Kumbaya and actually nothing is going on. And we're not over there just burning flags as a, just as a media publicity stunt. We're not here. This is real. This isn't activism.
You love your enemy by creating a material disincentive by their behavior. You love enemies like this by hurting them because what they do is so wrong they won't understand to change until they've been hurt.
How do you feel about this guy being basically the image of this demonstration?
He's not the image of the demonstration.
In the media.
The media says that he is.
Definitely.
It's two people.
We're not there.
What'd you say?
I'm disgusted by it. It's a nonviolent peace protest. I'm fully patriotic, but I don't believe in war. And, like, I'm sitting up here crying, and my friends are getting arrested, and he's being all violent and nasty and negative, and it's no way to solve anything. And if that's what's portrayed across the country as peace protesters, then we're in a lot of trouble.
Nobody said we weren't. We're not trying to be nice.
This way.
What just happened?
He got dragged away by the police
For what reason?
because he refused to stand up.
For what reason? What's the cause?
Because we don't want the war in Iraq.
Because it's illegal to kneel on the sidewalk.
Look at you. Are you a brave man right here?
Can you tell me why you're wearing, why your faces are covered?
We don't like to be filmed. So, particularly by the cops. It's not necessarily media, but mostly by the cops.
We don't really need a record on ourselves. We don't need to be able to be pointed out and, you know, used for whatever, whether some training purposes or as being targeted as a threat to the American government or the state, etc.
You are? Really? How are you a brave man right here?
I've risked my life several times.
All right, I'm very happy that you're risking your life for peace, all right? But do you risk a serious jail sentence for peace?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I've hung off of billboards.
How
I've been
long?
arrested for
How long a jail sentence? You don't go out and you don't do anything that's serious or something.
Oh, yeah. I've had felony charges against me.
If you're so ready to
We're not here to be arrested. This is not the place and time to fight. You don't fight.
I mean, you're bombing a country that we're told lies of, like, oh, you know, Iraq is such a threat. It's BS. It's over oil. It's over money. That's what all war is.
Look, you know what you're doing? You're teaching the media that all this
Good. That's fine.
We're not like you.
That's a lie. That's
We
all right.
want
Let the
peace and
media
love.
lie. We want the media. If they're
We
not
don't
lying, say
want
we're
the media to lie.
Will you support them?
Support them. No, you're running your mouth.
No, we're not running our mouth.
Come on, let's go.
You're running
Let's
your
support
mouth,
them.
Miss Demonstration.
Support them.
I'm Mark Bruzonsky, your host for this weekly program, Mideast Realities, and thank you for watching. If you too are concerned about the situation in today's Middle East and about U.S. policies toward that crucial region of the world, and if you'd like to meet like-minded persons, why don't you come to one of our weekly social meetings? I'll be there, of course. Just give us a call for details.